Flynn, baby.
Jansen. Still in there.
Give me. We're on now. I was gonna say, give me a couple of your one-hit wonders.
I mean, I can rattle off a bunch of '90s one-hit wonders.
Yeah. So, but all music. Right?
Yeah. I gotta think about an athlete. Oh, I got an athlete season.
I got an athlete. There, altitude. Although I can't see shit.
For the athlete.
Yeah.
Peyton Hills.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Made a Madden cover and everything.
Did he make a Madden cover?
Yeah.
I think I have the ultimate one-hit wonder athlete. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah. Is that Christy? I can't see shit. Is that Christy?
Yeah.
Yes. I can't see her. Hi, Christy. I'm good. How are you? I said I can't see you, but I assumed it was you. I can't see anything. Tuesday, I get my new eyeballs.
Sweet.
Yeah. No, I have double cataracts in both my eyes, so I'm getting them removed on Tuesday. And in that process, they do put a new lens in your eye. So I'm gonna for the first time since third grade, I'm gonna be 20/20. No, surgery center in South Jersey. Doctor up there.
That's one hit wonder.
So.
Natalie's a nurse at the Alzheimer's.
Oh, okay.
And then she was in surgery some years.
Okay, great place. I've been there. I've been there. My ex-wife got treated there. She had some eyes.
By the way, the Wi-Fi already rebooted, so it should be able to do it.
I should have worn my ring. You guys could have seen it.
Oh yeah, you were going to bring the ring.
Yeah, I meant to.
Man, kiss the ring.
If we had to choose between you remembering to charge your tablet or the ring, I would have chose the ring.
Yeah.
We can't have the best of both worlds.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Sunday mornings are a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of brain power going into Sunday mornings. Yeah. And the game was quick, but for whatever reason.
That's what she said. Well, no, they had the one in 6 innings, like 5 minutes long.
Yeah. But even then, we were on pace to be done at like 2:10, and then the 4 pitching changes in the 8th and the 9th. So. Test.
Oh. Test.
Wait, so did that kid ever show up?
No.
No.
No, I'm sorry, and I never did answer you that day. That day was crazy for some reason, but no, he did not show up. Oh, wait a minute. Did he show up? No. There's another kid that John Brazier had said was going to stop by. He did.
So I'm sitting there, I was like, you already told me no, and then you're telling me yeah, and I mean, he's got a lot going on. I was like, this is why I don't like doing nice things.
It's, it's totally fine.
I mean, stage 4, that's rough. But
Yep.
I was just like, come on. All right, let's see here. Mr. Jansen. So is this as high as this thing's gonna go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Got a minute. I'm
I'm
only getting volume in my left ear.
Really?
That's 1 2 1 2 1 2.
How about you, Mark?
I'm good.
There we go.
What do you want to do, Mark?
What's a big Hey,
That was me.
That was you.
I was making my hand look really big on the StreamYard. Yeah, it's the little things that amuse me.
Take yourself off mute. That way they
there
can
you
hear you.
go.
Oh, I thought I wanted it on mute.
No, you want your volume down so the volume doesn't reverberate back
Oh,
through.
okay.
Yeah, you want your mic on so they can hear you on the stream here. Good morning, Philadelphia. Welcome in to Baseball Brunch, brought to you by Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, as we're knocking over tablets here on the table. Powered by Green Legion Radio, 102.5 Fox Sports, the Gambler in Philadelphia, WDAS AM, around the rest of the Delaware Valley, or simply download that iHeartRadio app and you can listen to us anywhere crystal clear worldwide. I'm Chris Sack of Green Legion Radio. We're broadcasting to you live from Xfinity Live, right outside of Broad Street Bullies Pub here, as we lead you into Phillies Cardinals this afternoon at 1:35, as the Fighting Phils look to go for the sweep against the Redbirds. And I'm joined, as always, on this beautiful Sunday morning in the Delaware Valley. I love saying that because it means we're going to have great conditions for a game this afternoon. Phillies broadcaster Greg Murphy. Murph, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Phils are playing well. It is a gorgeous day. It's been a pretty nice couple of days here at the ballpark. Great crowds.
Yes.
And another sellout crowd today. So 42,000 plus will be screaming down the Cardinals' throats. And, if you don't think that makes a difference, you're wrong, because it does. It's a tough place to play. So it's been fun. It's been a good homestand so far. We need to keep it up. The Angels are coming to town tomorrow. They got a chance to sweep the street. It's not a rubber game today. Yes, for the first time in a long time on a Sunday, we're not worried about trying to win the series on a Sunday. We can go out today and finish off the sweep. That'd be good. This Cardinals team, wow, a true.
I was really just about to ask you this because when we did our predictions at the beginning of the season, there's no way we saw this coming.
No.
Because the Cardinals, to both of us, coming into the season, were far and away the best team still in the National League Central. Maybe the Cubs were a year ahead. The Brewers are kind of keeping pace with what they did last year, except for their fade down the stretch, but they're still a really good team. And then the Reds came out of nowhere. But this in the National League Central is the biggest come out of nowhere factor of the 2023 season.
It's funny. You look at that lineup and you think to yourself, okay, these guys are going to be able to score some runs, and they have. They're believe it or not, they're fourth in the National League in OPS.
Yeah, I heard Fransky saying that last night.
That is hard to believe. It's literally the Braves, the Dodgers, the Phillies, and then the Cardinals.
Which makes sense when you look at record standpoint. I mean, the Phillies
the top players.
Yes, and then
the Cardinals. However, their pitching is dreadful.
Look at Wainwright this year. Last year, and thank God it is his last year.
And I think even more surprising is the decline of Miles Michaelis, who over the last couple of years was just kind of like a bulldog kind of guy. You knew you were going to get 6-7 innings out of him, and he was going to be a terrific pitcher. He has not been back, and I think that's a big part of their demise. So Wainwright goes by the wayside, Michaelis goes by the wayside. Now they're trying to piece it together with these young kids. The kid today making hit just his second major league start. His first start did not go well.
What was the ERA that you said last night?
14.79. 14.79. He allowed, I believe it was 7 runs in 3 1/3 or 3 2/3 innings. So it's remarkable how quickly. I think of the Cardinals organization as truly one of the best organizations in all of sports, in all the 4 major sports. When you think about a consistent organization that goes out and has a chance to win every year, I think of the Cardinals. And this year, it's just not their year.
It's just not their year. And, we're going to dive a little bit further into it as well as we get into this first segment, because you sit there and you think about what this team is doing right now. They're separating themselves from the pack. And that's where you want to be at this point in the season. But hey, listen, this first segment is brought to you by our good friends at State Farm. Here's the real deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you Save an average of $889. State Farm agent David Russo is ready to help you combine home and auto in South Jersey and Pennsylvania. Call Dave today at 856-740-5012. That's 856-740-5012. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings are based on the 2019 National Survey by State Farm of new policyholders and reported savings by switching to State Farm. Individual premiums will vary by customer and all applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements. All right, Murph, we're back to a ticket giveaway on this Sunday morning. We took the week off last week with it. We're going to give away another pair of tickets to the Phillies and the fabled Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins, on Friday, September 8th at 7:05. I take it like a badge of honor when you give me this, and say, hey, I really like the topic this week.
It's a good one.
Sometimes I don't know if you're telling me the truth.
Nope, I would tell you if I hated it. No, I would tell you.
I haven't gotten that one many times. But, hey, give me your best one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
It could be a band with a song, an actor, actress in a movie, an athlete with one great season, or a run they never duplicated. Give me one of your top five.
So when I read that, I'm thinking, okay, that's easy. We all talk about one-hit wonders. Oh, hey, this is a one-hit wonder, and there's tons in the music world, right? But you kind of expanded it a little bit, which I really appreciated. And it could be an athlete, it could be a movie, it could be a movie star, whatever. And so this became very difficult for me. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out.
A lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, certainly more than 4.5 minutes.
Sometimes you pull in disco on it, sometimes you pull in style.
Yeah. I didn't have anyone to help me today, so I had to do it all myself. And I tried very hard not to, just Google the list. I tried really hard to pull it from my brain, which I was able to do, but it did take me some time today. So I'll give you one, and so I have two from the music world, two from the sports world, and one from the world of cinema. Let me give you one of the music ones, because I think they're the easiest. Believe it or not, Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, right? They have never had another major hit, but yet Eye of the Tiger remains one of the most iconic songs in American history. It won a Grammy, and I think it won an Oscar as well. So, you talk about a song that's
linked
to a movie, obviously.
Movie Rocky.
Back by Survivor is a great song.
Come on.
I like it.
All right, but you get my point. I mean,
Talking top hit.
that has transcended decades and decades and decades. And young folks to this, young people today know that song, can sing that song, and understand the relevance of it. So, Eye of the Tiger from Survivor, my first one-hit wonder. I've got four more of them.
I'm going to go with the sports world, which is no surprise. Even though this was sparked yesterday on my 4.5-hour ride home from my mother-in-law's, and the song came on, and my wife was like, "One-hit wonder," and I'm like, "Oh, right." Honestly, I mean, Bob Barker passed away. We could do that. As far as like best game show, favorite game show, we could have fun with that. But I believe we've done that already. So I was like, you know what, one-hit wonder does sound good. Sticking to the world of sports, Jeremy Lin.
That's a good one.
I mean, it was like 12 to 15 games. He set the world on fire, and then Linsanity, and then out of nowhere, it just completely faded. It was gone. In a flash of an eye. What do you got from this last?
I have two, but I'll stick it to one. I'll do a sports one.
Don't take away from the crowd.
Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, and you said something before the show I didn't realize.
He was on
He got the Madden cover.
for the Brown, and
He has to be the most irrelevant Madden cover of all time.
No, there's no.
he was a beast though. And then he had a little stint with the Giants, and then I don't know.
What year was his big year?
Let me try and pull it up.
All right.
Probably 2013.
I was going to say, so fantasy owners in 2014 hate Peyton Hillis. Right? I got the number one ticket Hillis.
Oh, wow.
Maybe
It goes before that, 2010.
2010. All right. So 2011 fantasy owners. I feel your pain because I guarantee you he was a top 3 pick in most leagues.
Zero
about that. And he didn't do anything.
I'll tell you what. Recently, though, he did almost die. He saved his 2 children.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty pretty big time. But like he got them out of the water, and then he had all this water in his lungs.
You know what? That's right. I remember reading that story.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him. Well, that's great. That's great. But yeah, one-hit wonder for sure. I'm not gonna, I don't want to brag, but I do think I have the ultimate one-hit wonder coming from the world. And that's coming up later. That's what we call teams.
That's called teams. I like that. You did that yesterday when they were determining the fantasy football draft order for the Phillies, and You know, they're like, tune into the pregame show to find out.
600 other people put it on Twitter before.
That's how I found out. But hey, in order to win those tickets, you must answer in the comments section on the Green Legion Radio YouTube channel, the Green Legion Facebook page, or our Twitter handle at Green Legion. Our collective favorite answer will win at the beginning of our final segment. Real quick, I would be remiss not to wish a happy 40th birthday to my sister, Janice. They are coming back from Mexico. They just spent the last 5 days down there. So, you know, must be nice. So hopefully I can do something like that for my 40th. Although mine is in, like, you know, the dead of winter. I completely hate
Well,
it.
that's a better time to go.
Yeah, possibly. But
my 40th birthday is just right around the corner.
It is.
It's behind me, but it's still just right around.
Did you see Michael Parkin wish a happy 60th birthday last night to Ricky Bell?
To Ricky Bell? Yeah, Ricky Bell and I are about the same age.
54, Ricky
Oh,
Bell.
he's older than I.
I got the big
He's
3
older than
Friday.
me.
I
I can
got
barely
the
walk.
Big 3-0.
Happy birthday. Thank you. I'm gonna make this show's all about me.
Happy birthday,
Big
Slash.
3-0.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, you're not the biggest news of the show this week. It's John Jansen got a haircut.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Johnny Quell.
Yeah, Johnny.
I'm sure he looks very handsome.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
that he did it before, John.
Yeah, let's get out of the box here. Phillies go 4-2 this week since our last show. Obviously, they lost the final game in the Little League Classic. They made it interesting in the ninth inning. And then they also had a shot to win Wednesday's game. And, man, that still ticks me off just a little bit. And I told you last night you were getting happy sack today. So I'm not going to sit here and, you know, meander too much about Wednesday's game, even though we'll dive into it just a little bit here coming up. But they do have a shot to sweep today and go 5-1 on this homestand so far with the Angels coming to town. But the flair for the dramatic, some of the easiest wins of the season, and then, you know, man, a good old-fashioned walk-off by Trey Turner on Tuesday night. The way this team has played, and I was doing some of the numbers here this morning, Phillies lead all of baseball in comeback wins since the All-Star break.
Great.
They are third overall for the entire 2023 Major League Baseball season, with 37 come-from-behind wins. That's including last night's game where they were down 1-0. And they're tied with the Marlins for most ninth-inning comebacks with 8.
Yeah, and
Resiliency. We've talked about this all season.
we have
Resiliency.
But I think the most amazing part of that particular stat is that the last 8 wins for the Phillies have been comeback wins. 8 straight wins. They've had to come from behind.
They had
to
5
win the
straight
game.
games where they gave up runs in the first inning.
Yeah, and so it you know, and resiliency is a big part of championship teams, and this team is. We saw it last year too, but this year I think even more so. This team's inability to never really be out of the game. Well, certainly out of some games.
We haven't had that feeling with the Phillies team. I mean, and I know
You're right.
me and you have
In a
talked
long
about this the last couple of years, but we haven't had those feelings of, you know, you're down 5, 6, 7-0, and you feel like those down times, that decade when we didn't make the playoffs, there were some down times during that stretch, and you were, a lot of the times you were down there in the field with them. 3-0, you know, in the early parts of the game, you're pretty much dead in the water. I mean, we haven't felt this way in about 15
You're
years.
putting on reruns of like Third Rock from the Sun.
Seriously, no doubt.
But let me ask you a question. You're always asking me a question. Let me ask you this question. So I'm interested to see how you would answer this. Right now, I'm not talking May and I'm not talking early June. Right now, bottom of the ninth inning, Phils are down. You know, maybe get a runner on second. You're down a run or 2. Who do you feel confident about when they come to the plate? Trey Turner?
Yes.
Bryce Harper?
Yes. Not Castellanos. I was happy the other night when Turner came through because I knew Castellanos was on deck.
Okay.
And Castellanos has been huge for us this year. 6th in the National League in hits. And he was our lone all-star representative, very well deserved. But for me, going up against guys that can throw that low and away breaking ball and he'll flail at it, I'm not there. Stop. Boom. Marsh.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So, I mean, we just named JT not right at the
Not
moment.
right now.
Yeah, agreed.
And Schwarber, hit or miss.
Yeah. So we're in lockstep. I would
Yeah.
agree with everything that you just
So
said.
there's 5 guys.
Five
to know.
out of 9,
Yeah.
and then, you know, whoever that 6th guy is.
I probably have more confidence in Jake Cave if he's going up against a righty than I do if it's Castellanos or Schwarber in that spot, which is crazy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
Just
you know,
a little bit. Because he's been hot lately.
when
I'm talking
Jake
like
is swinging
last
the
2-3
bat,
weeks.
Yeah, when he's swinging the bat well, you know, he doesn't chase, and he barrels balls up. I would agree with that. Schwarber, to me, it's the strikeout that gets Schwarber, right? So often in a big moment,
More
you
home
see
runs
that.
this year than singles.
It's crazy, right? I mean, it's crazy. And doubles, right? Obviously more home runs than doubles too. But anyway, I still have confidence in Schwarber to an extent. I think that's what you said.
If he comes up in a big spot with the bases loaded, you know that they have to pitch to him.
Yeah.
They have to throw him a strike.
And if they do throw him a strike, very often he can do something.
No doubt about it.
Castellanos, the one thing I'll say about Nick, and I agree that it's hard at this moment to feel confident. If we were talking about May, I think we all would have said absolutely.
Castellanos,
Yeah. The thing about Castellanos is he is chasing out of the zone, not as much as we saw last year, but he's still doing it to an extent, but he knows it. And that's what I love about Nick Castellanos. Is he's like, I know they're going to throw me the pitch down and away, and I still can't. And he has said this on the air. I still can't hold up sometimes. And, baseball is, we say it all the time. Baseball is really hard.
No doubt.
And hitting a baseball is really hard. I love the way Nick, even in his down times, can be so self-aware. So many players are not.
No, he's very honest.
Nick is so self-aware of what he's doing well and what he's not. Even when he's not doing it well and he knows when he's not doing it well, he can't fix it at the moment. He still understands when he's not doing it well. I think that's cool.
He had a strikeout the other night where the ball started on the outside corner, coming out of the pitcher's hands, and it never even had a shot at being a strike. It was a complete frisbee. And I'm like, what are you swinging at?
I know, but they all do it because,
they all have their moments with it.
They all do. I mean, even the best hitters, maybe with the exception of a guy like Tony Gwynn or something like that, but even the best hitters chase. I mean, Mike Trout chases. You see it a lot. You see him swinging up balls in the dirt. And you're like, this is one of the best hitters in baseball.
I mean, Harper had one that bounced 3 feet from the plate.
And part of it is because you're thinking about, he's going to throw me a fastball here, and then he throws you a slider in the dirt or a changeup, and you're just like, you've already committed to the fastball. That's what makes hitting a baseball so darn hard. But I think it's cool how, we agree. There are a lot of guys in this lineup right now that you feel pretty confident about it.
I mean, what's Bone batting this year? 366 with runners in scoring position?
He's been outstanding. And Bryson Stott, I mean, you talk about
that
Bryson
at-bat that he had. You're right. Because you're going to it.
Yeah.
That at-bat that he had in the Giants game, 14 pitches, 10 fouls.
Yeah. It's tremendous. He's a guy that just understands the strike zone so well, but he's also a guy that understands when he gets – he has more 2-strike hits than anybody in baseball. The most in baseball. I think he has somewhere around 72 strike hits. I mean, that's insane. And we're talking about a guy in his second year. What Bryson Stott has become in the big leagues as a big league ball player, I think is so exciting for what's to come in the next couple of years. I mean, you can make an argument he's been the team's MVP this year.
Yeah.
And I think second place is, Bryce, if he continues to do what he's doing,
I was going to say,
he might get there.
If you're talking about from day one to day now, it's Bryson Stott. And he had, especially earlier in the parts of the season, it was really him and Castellanos were carrying that offense until Bryce came back. And then, we're going to dive into Bryce Harper and all that stuff. But, if you look at it right now, why are we where we are right now? It's because of guys like Bryson Stott, what Castellanos did the first half of the season.
And Alec Bohm.
Yeah. No doubt. Look at the top of this wild card standings right now. Phillies are 71-58 on the season. And this week, 4-2. But they've gained ground on everybody, even the Diamondbacks, who lost on a balk last night.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They were up 4-2, and then the Reds tied it in the top of the 9th. And then they went up 7-4 in the top of the 10th. And then the Diamondbacks tied it in the bottom of the 10th. And then the Reds wound up getting a balk that brought home the game-winning run.
Wow, I did not see that. How about that?
I was watching that.
A balk-off. We've seen that a couple of times this year.
Well, they weren't home, so it's close to a balk.
Oh, right.
But it doesn't put them up. But right now, they're sitting in the catbird seat. They're 3 up on the Cubs, 3.5 on the Diamondbacks, 4 on the Reds, and then those teams that are right on the outside, the Giants now 5, and then 6.5 on the Fish. And it's just it's incredible to see where they're at. I wish they would have done something like this and they peaked kind of like this a little bit earlier in the season to where the division was still a realistic possibility. But for what it's worth and where we're looking to go, just get back to the postseason. But that wild card series here, 3 games at the bank, and we've seen the crowds all season long, back to last October. Nobody wants to play here.
No.
Nobody wants to come in here and face this team in the 3-game series.
Absolutely. And, the fact that all 3 games would be here in Philadelphia, it's not like it's 2-1, right? Someone could steal a game and go back home and have that advantage. But all 3 games, if you're the number 1 wild card, get all 3 games here in Philadelphia, I think it's a very big advantage. Larry Anderson and I had this conversation on the postgame show last night. But the way the schedule broke this year for the Phillies, early on, we have been on the road, and up until the All-Star break, way more than any other team, and they were able to kind of hold their own, keep their head above water, and they played well enough that when the schedule turned after the All-Star break, and we've been home the month of August almost entirely. We've had one road trip in the month of August, and it was a short one, a 7-day road trip. And here we are playing like 21 games and all of a sudden, separating yourself, because this team does play right now. The Phillies are 13 games over 500 collectively, right? They are 13 games over 500 at Citizens Bank Park and 33 on the road. So it just goes to show you how well they play here at home. And I think now, it was a tough road to hoe early. But now that the schedule has kind of broke back towards the Phillies' way with all these home games, it couldn't have happened any better for them.
Hey, just real quick, because we did have some technical issues earlier. This first segment was brought to you by our good friends over at State Farm.
Yeah,
call Dave today, 856-740-5012. That's 856-740-5012. But this is Baseball Brunch, brought to you by Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club. So don't hang out alone in the man cave for baseball this season. Try hanging out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 domestic beers, Jameson specials, and awesome game day experiences all season long. That's right. Stop in before, during, or after the game, not only to see your favorite entertainers, but also your chance to have the best game day experience. Epic game day experiences are at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Cheerleaders is open daily from noon until 2 a.m. Coming up on the other side, we're going to continue our Fight and Phil's talk, because we got to dive into Bryce Harper, Zach Wheeler, and this month of August with the home runs. And we're going to go around the league here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. We'll be right back after this.
I didn't hear the Arizona ending. When I left the postgame show, I was thinking
Stop. It was the only game that was on last night. Wait. Well, I was out when I was texting you. I was out in the patio. I had a couple cigars, and a couple drinks.
I answered your text on my way home. Christmas, I can't drive. Christmas was driving me in. So.
I knew you were busy.
Once I get to the 8th inning, I don't even look at my phone. All right, most of the time,
That's
but anyway, so that was about what?
That's when our internet connection.
And then I got home.
On the move, on the freeway.
Right the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Slash earlier, man, yesterday I could barely walk.
Radio.
Because the last 2.5 months, I've been on my Peloton
I'm just trying to help out.
every day. Maybe how long is this? 6 or 7 days I've missed over the last 2.5 months not doing the button. So my mother-in-law don't have a Peloton. So Rachel's doing an 11-mile run Friday. She's got a half marathon coming up.
Definitely
So I wanted to get a workout. So I went down to the track, down the street from her.
She's running around the track?
Well, no, hell no. She does trails. Yeah, she does trails and all that stuff. So I was like, all right. So I went down to the track and ran 2 miles, walked a mile, and then I ran another mile. And then I did a soccer field suicide.
Yeah.
So
Good workout.
And then I walked another half mile, so about 4.5, close to 5 miles. And,
I have a bone to pick with your answer.
I haven't ran in months.
Because
So
they are
yesterday, I
not a
was a 10
one-hit wonder by any means.
I know that.
That is not a
Man,
I had Howie Kendrick on the show yesterday. He's a really good interview.
Rosanna.
I said, hey, folks, we're on radio, so you can't see Howie. I said, he looks like he can still play. I mean, the guy's just freaking jacked.
I saw the picture.
Oh, my God, he's just and he said, yeah, I miss it, and I feel like I could get out there.
All right, if you want to make
play.
your case.
I said, yeah, the difference is you can get out there and play a day, and then you need 3 days off. That's the difference when you turn 40, as opposed to when you're 30 and you can play 4 days in a row.
Howie had a great career, man. Yep.
Yeah, very good. I mean,
The Angels
culminated
with the World
with
Series.
the World Series,
Yeah.
so that made, I think, his career. But yeah, he's solid. But he's a really bright guy. Really good.
1 minute.
I always liked him. He was a good ball player.
John's a lonely dreamer.
Johnny Quaff.
There's some good answers.
Johnny Quaff.
Are there some good ones?
Yeah. But still don't agree with Sean Henderson's answer.
Well, it's Sean Henderson. That's
Yeah.
why. I mean, just look at him. He's a jackass. What does that say about me? I've kept him around for 15 years.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
I definitely don't jinx him.
Why's that?
March, stop. Boom.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're in lockstep there.
We were working our way down the lineup. They had to have put up the lineup by now.
Yeah, it's out. RPH again.
I want to ask you about that.
You can,
I don't know if anybody's
I have a little info, but not a lot.
Coming back.
just weird.
Nah.
Good work by you, Johnny boy.
Welcome back.
I like this song.
See, this right here tells me that Johnny Quaff, he listens to the show.
Yeah.
He listens to the show. He doesn't just produce it.
JJ's on top.
He listens to the show. This second segment brought to you. He just spent a few days out in Vegas for breaks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jansen, I was thinking of this song that you end the line with.
That's another one.
Johnny, me and Slash were walking into Xfinity, and I said, "Is there anybody less likely that you would want to go to Vegas with than John Jansen?"
Oh, that's not nice.
Vegas, baby. This second segment, maybe we'll do that next week. The person,
Go to Vegas?
no, the person you would least likely want to go to Vegas. Oh, God. Premier Window Cleaning is a leading window cleaning company in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Family owned and operated with 30 years experience in offering commercial and residential window cleaning, pressure washing, parking garage cleaning, graffiti removal, post-construction cleaning. Every employee is trained, certified, and goes through an extensive background check. With Premier Window Cleaning, your satisfaction level needs to be 100%. As no job is complete until you're happy. With clients like Chop Roberts, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, you cannot go wrong. For more information and a full list of their services, give them a call. 267-534-5198. It's 267-534-5198. Go to the website, WeHateDirtyWindows.com. That's WeHateDirtyWindows.com. All right, Murph. So I kind of teased it as we were coming back on, but I didn't do it on air. Bryce Harper. We're looking at the lineup from the last week here, and one thing I'm trying to find it, like Matt Gelb or Todd Zalecki or like Alex Kaufman, somebody to ask the question to Rob Thompson this week about why Bryce hasn't played first base all week long.
Asked every single day. That question.
It's been asked every single day.
Every single
I've been
day.
looking for it on Twitter, and I can't find it.
Well,
So
if you tune into the pregame show each day before the fight with Phillies,
I do
Scott
promote
Bransky-
the pregame.
Scott Bransky asks Rob directly that question every day.
And again, he's DHing again today.
Yeah, okay. So the answer is pretty simple. They are mildly concerned about stiffness in Bryce Harper's back. Bryce is the kind of guy who's very, obviously in tune with his body, as most of these guys are, but he's also very honest about when he's feeling well and when he's not. And he went to the Phillies, he went to the trainers and said, about a week ago, I guess it was, maybe even a little bit longer, he had a little bit of stiffness in his back. And Rob's feeling is this. If he's swinging the bat the way he is, and he's been remarkable, he can still swing the bat with this back stiffness. Rob would rather take a healthy Bryce Harper in the lineup and Schwarber in left than take a chance of putting Bryce over at first with a little bit of a bulky back and using Schwarber as the DH. For him, it's all about weighing probabilities. How can we get this win? What is more beneficial to us? And he believes that if they put Bryce out at first base and for whatever reason he tweaks his back or if he becomes fatigued and he can't play the next day,
that's more of a detriment. So
Before he goes in the IL, you'd rather have four
God,
at-bats.
and this is not, I mean, certainly everything I've been told, this is not an IL situation. This is not something that is going to rise to that level. It simply is wear and tear, daily playing, every day on your feet kind of thing. And they just want to keep Bryce wrapped in bubble wrap and use him in the lineup until the moment that they have to deploy him, which probably isn't until mid-September, for the stretch run and the postseason. Because you will see him play, I believe, the bulk of, unless he's still hurt, I think you'll see him at first base the bulk of the postseason. They just are in a position where they can be careful right now. And so you say to yourself, well, what is it about first base that, might cause some issues for Bryce? And Rob said, honestly, the biggest thing, and it sounds simple, but, at the major league level, where we all play base, you all play the games and stuff, but at the major league level, every single pitch, every single infielder,
You're on your toes.
you're on your toes and you're bending at your back.
Yeah.
Every single pitch. So that's 150 times a game. And if they can avoid that for a period of time and allow him to get whatever stiffness is in that bat out, they're going to do that. And that's where it is. They are not concerned. I said on the show last night, there is almost no level of concern. It's really just
Preserving.
It's just an abundance of caution. That's what it is.
Which is great. Yeah, I like hearing that because the Phillies are a better team when they can put Marshall in left and they can put Rojas in center. Defensively, they're so much better, and then Schwarber is DHing. But the fact that we know this, I like hearing that. It's not killing the team right now.
No.
Like with him not being at
That's
first
the
base.
key.
Yeah.
So as long as they continue this little stretch that they're on, playing good baseball, and they can get away with Harper DHing, I think they're going to do it. And then the moment they feel like, okay, we can't get away with it anymore, then I think it changes.
So, Bryce Harper, talking about the statistics here. Everybody wants to sit there and say that, he lost a power stroke and he wouldn't get it back until 2024. Well, here in August, he's batting .361, 19 runs scored, 8 doubles, a triple, 7 home runs. One of them is the inside Parker, which is batting pretty good on that. 18 RBI. It's kind of like Stella. He's got his groove back, and he looks really good right now at the plate. They showed a stat last night on the Fox show with him and Turner, almost identical numbers for the month of August. And this is what we dreamed of as Phillies fans and broadcasters coming into the season. It's not just one straw that stirs the drink. You've got 2, and they're working pretty good right now.
Yeah, and again, I was thinking about this morning. When I finally retire from the baseball brunch radio program, which I hope is 15 years down the road. But when I finally do, not yet. If there's one thing that I can leave with our listeners, it's that baseball is a long season, and there are ups and downs, and living and dying with every game and even every week with a baseball team is really kind of wasted energy. It's a big picture kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, you look at what Trey and Bryce are doing in the month of August, and it's what we all envisioned the season would be like. But in reality, it was never going to be, break in May, and those guys are producing like that, or April and May and June and July and August and September. They're going to have ups and downs, and we saw the downs, and now hopefully we're seeing the ups, and they can take it through September. Don't be surprised if Trey Turner goes into a slump again for a period of time. Don't be surprised if Bryson Stott or Alec Bowen, it could happen, but the way they're producing right now is what we thought, okay, if this offense can all click at the same time, or a couple of the big guys click at the same time, here's what's going to happen. And that's what's happening. 5 runs a game, I think they're averaging right now. I don't know what our record is in August. I know it's good. But it's just the little things that we hoped would happen are starting to happen now. And now's a pretty good time for them to start happening, right? here we are with 4 weeks left to go in the season. Hopefully they're peaking at this moment and they stay peaked for another 6 weeks.
I know Zach Wheeler had a rough first inning up in Williamsport last Sunday, but last night, it really the rest of that game afterwards. I mean, he did get you through 7 innings, and then last night he got you into the 8th with an 11-run lead. You might as well just preserve the bullets. But man, his fastball, his last 2 starts, is getting back to where it needs to be at 97, 98 is where he's averaging right now. It's kind of like you were saying, preserving Bryce and putting him in that bubble wrap. Zach Wheeler kind of knows his body, and he knows where he needs to kind of ratchet it up. And last year, he needed the 2 to 3 week reprieve. This year, I think he kind of did enough to get him to this point.
And the six-man rotation.
Yeah, and it's helped. But now he's just starting to ratchet. 80 pitches last night, 60 for strikes, 10 strikeouts through 7. And then he gave up a solo shot to a kid for his first major league home run.
That wasn't a bad pitch. I mean, that was down in at the knees. The kid went down and got it, took your cap. But
I heard Fransky in LA talking about last night. The chase rate, I think, was like 45%
on the curveball. I think he threw. I don't have the exact numbers, so don't hold me to this. But if he threw 15 curveballs, I think they swung and missed 10 or 11 times on the curveballs. He had it on the post-game show last night, and you'll hear a little bit of it on the pregame show today too. But he was talking about coming out of the bullpen. He knew he had his velocity. His arm felt good. He knew he was going to be able to the fastball was going to be there as long as he had command. But he had a real good feel for the curveball coming out of that too. And he said, JT just said, let's ride the curveball because it's working right now. And he said he only threw like 2 or 3 cutters last night out of those 80 pitches because he didn't need it. He did not need the cutter, stuck with the 2-seam fastball, the 4-seam fastball, and the curveball for the most part. And he was filthy last night. And after the game, I'm sure folks heard Carl Thompson dropping hey, let's start looking at this guy in the Cy Young conversation.
We talked about that about a month ago. Yeah. He was top 5 in Cy Young gambling odds.
I think right now, top 3, maybe. I don't know what the odds are, but
Blake Snell, Spencer Strider.
Yeah. And
probably the top 2 right now.
Probably the top 2. But he is in the conversation. And what I said on the show last night is, if he pitches like that 5 or 6 more times, he's going to be top of mind in the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Phillies also made a bit of history yesterday. Yeah. With their 3 home runs, they now have 48 for the month of August, which is taken over for the, that juggernaut, the offensive juggernaut, the 2019 September Phillies. I mean, that was so weird. I remember we faded down the stretch in September 2019, and here we are hitting 46 home runs in that month.
You probably know the answer to this, but
I heard, yeah. 8 home runs by Bamboo.
The old Raffle. I think he had 3 in one game in September.
It's probably Toronto.
Yeah, I don't. It might have been.
I think it was against Toronto.
But yeah, when I read that, I'm like, wait a minute. The Phillies franchise record for home runs in a month is held by the 2019 team.
Yeah.
And that seemed so odd to me. But now it's held by the 2023 team. And they're adding to, so what do they have? 47 now? 48? 48 now. The record was 46. 3 more games to go in the month of August? So,
Insane.
I mean, they
4. Yeah, today and then 3 against the Angels.
Yeah, so all in August?
Yeah. That 31st is coming up.
Okay.
But hey, the Angels are coming to town, and the big news of the week was Shohei Ohtani.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, good news for 3 days. We don't have to see him pitch.
But good news for the Phillies.
Yeah, for sure. Right, but for the game of baseball as a whole, torn UCL again. Now they're not saying that surgery is necessary at this time, but we've seen this too many times. Brandon Dominguez, Dave Robertson, probably Cliff Lee, with his elbow. Yeah, it's just like we can rehab it. We can do this.
The first time.
Ohtani the first time. Crazy to think. He's going to play the rest of the season, and I don't want to say for selfish reasons. They're out of the race, but he plays the rest of the season. He's going to be the MVP for the second time in the American League. He could probably sit out the rest of the season, get surgery tomorrow, and it wouldn't matter. He'd still be the MVP.
And it's his fault.
Yes. Do you think he's lost any value on his upcoming contract? I mean, I know he's the.
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Oh.
I still think he's the attraction And whether he pitches in 2024 or 2025, it doesn't matter.
I don't think he ever pitches again.
Whoa.
I don't.
That's big.
I don't see Shohei Ohtani. I mean, okay. Will he pitch again? Maybe he pitches a little bit.
You're talking as a full, regular,
Yeah.
major league starting pitcher, 30 starts a year.
Personally, I think the unbelievable experiment that was Shohei Ohtani, two-way player, is over. I can't imagine. This is his second Tommy John surgery. He's still the best or one of the best hitters in the American League. And he's going to get paid that way. But he was going to get paid as one of the best hitters in the American League.
Two-way.
And the best pitcher in the American League. So he's not going to get that. So that $700 million contract, I think he ends up losing close to $300 million. Now he and his representatives are going to say, I'll be back and I'm going to pitch again. But if you're an organization bringing him in, can you pay him?
Is that the investment you're looking to make?
Right. Can you pay him on a hope and a prayer that he can pitch again at that level and stay healthy? I just think at that point it becomes a bad business decision for most teams. He's going to get a ton of money and well-deserved, and he'll never have to worry about money again. So it's not as if, he's
going to go for broke.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I think it cost him a couple $100 million. And I feel terrible because he has been such a good thing for the game of baseball.
Yes.
And he's such an ambassador for baseball. It's a global game. By all accounts, he's a great personality. He's everything you want. And it's a shame. But he's going to come back and still be one of the best players in baseball. But I think it's going to be mostly a one-way kind of thing.
Absolutely. And then that sad news. Steven Strasburg announced his retirement the other day. I mean, good for the Phillies in the long run. I mean, but he hasn't pitched the last 4 years outside of 31 and a third innings pitched. And it's not like he's not going to get paid. He's going to continue to make $35 million annually from 2026. And then he gets $26.6 million in 2027, 2028, and 2029 for payments. You know the sad part is, those great guys down there, down to 95, highway, they didn't insure that contract.
I know.
So they're on the hook for all of it. It's so beautiful.
Talking about bad business decisions.
Yes.
I've never been I appreciate what Steven Strasburg was as an athlete and as a pitcher. I've never been a fan of Strasburg, and that probably has mostly to do because he played for the Nationals during that period.
And it was their peak when we were in our valley.
I don't think you think back to me, Steven Strasburg. Two goofballs in 10 years from now who are doing a radio show at a bar on a Sunday morning, and they're doing a list of one-hit wonders.
It might still be us.
It might still be us. God willing, right? But Steven Strasburg might be on that list because to me, he was a flash in the pan his rookie year. Pretty exciting.
Tommy John.
And then he gets hurt, and then he comes back, and he was good. And then he had the World Series year, and he was outstanding, and he took them to the World Series, and he won the World Series, and that made his career. But then he hasn't been able to pitch it. So, to me, he's kind of a one-hit wonder in a lot of ways. I won't remember Steven Strasburg as a, unbelievable player from his era. I'll remember him as an unbelievable talent that never was able, because of health reasons,
to sustain it.
Yeah.
All right, so the Green Legion, we're here to tell you it's time to make your reservations for another amazing Eagle season, which starts in 2 weeks. Head to greenlegion.com to get signed up for Tampa, LA, Kansas City, Dallas, and Seattle, or get signed up for the day trip games for the Jets, the Giants, or the Commodes. Make sure you check out the Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club bus for those day trips as well. Go to greenlegion.com or call 215-666-5940. That's 215-666-5940. 21 years and counting for the best Eagles road trips around. Coming up on the other side, what's the best one-hit wonder as far as we're concerned here on Baseball Brunch? And some of us are leaking oil with our picks the last couple weeks. And for once, it's not Murph.
That's right.
It's 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. Baseball Brunch brought to you by Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club. We'll be right back after these messages.
His value went from $500 million to $300.
Yeah,
And like,
I think so too.
it's
It's such a shame. It's a shame.
I don't know. I think he's going to wind up getting close to what Trout got. I still think he's in that 450 range. 450?
Yeah, just hit it.
Yeah.
Right. He's an attraction. It's like
10 years though, like he'll get 10 years.
Yeah. What did John Middleton
How old
say?
is he? 27?
He's young.
26?
I don't know.
He's close to 30. He's close to slash 29.
29?
Listen, here's the thing. What did John Middleton say last year after that run to Bryce Harper? You're underpaid. You want to know why he's underpaid? Because of the moments and him getting you to the World Series. How much tickets, how much merchandise did they sell?
Yeah, but
when
Harper's also the guy that would take a pay cut and give up the salary
Ohtani
to bring people in.
Ohtani doesn't just give you clout in the city that he signs in. He gives you clout for a whole country that's going to be buying Ohtani stuff. It's Ichiro all over again.
Yeah. There's definitely some truth to that.
He is the attraction. If you give him $450 million over 10 years, you know how much money you're making?
Right, but I think he was looking
He's
at
still an ace. He's still an ace. 700 million?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he was in the 700 million category. I do. But now he's not.
But with the DH, though, if he hurts his UCL for a third time, he can still play. I mean, Harper
But he's
did.
not going to make it a paycheck. He's going to get in the advertising endorsements.
Yeah.
Oh, he's set for life no matter how it goes. He's a hero in that country for the World Baseball Classic. Even outside of that, he was a hero.
So here's the next question. It's going to be what, Seattle or the Dodgers, right?
Dodgers. It's Dodgers.
Seattle or the Dodgers?
I don't see it being anybody else but the Dodgers. I think the Padres are finding out what the Mets found out. You can throw money at every single hole that you possibly think.
Selfish. Tatis, selfish. Machado,
Okay, so is Ohtani attracted to go to San Diego to play with selfish guys in San Diego, or to go to the Dodgers to play with guys like Betts and Freeman, who have been there, done that, won that?
Yeah, but Betts and Freeman's windows, I mean, not Betts so much, but they're starting to close. I mean, I know they're great players. And they're still great
How
players.
old's
He's got to be. I would think he's Freddie's 32.
Yeah, I was going to say 32, 33, yeah. So, look,
And with the DH rule, Freddie's going to be around for another 10 years. Just swinging it back.
yeah, I do think Ohtani's, I think there are more teams that are going to be in the mix for him. Especially now.
What, St. Louis?
I think that's a possibility.
I mean, how do you not? How do you know?
They have to do something, or they're not going to lose their fan base.
Number one
But
organization in baseball. By far.
yeah, for a long time.
I mean, the Dodgers have been right there with them. The Yankees.
Yeah,
The Yankees anymore. The Cash
the Yankees will be in the mix.
and the Boston. Not seeing.
All right, I gotta get.
Do you know some of the guards?
Cody Burns? Yeah.
I know.
Oh, okay, very good.
So I can fill out the ring and tell you, if the hole is that in 09, we used to have 6 tickets. Like the 143 the last row. You would come up every game and say, here's why the first ring is 1
Right. So the 09 ring, have you seen them next to each other?
The 08 ring's the only one I know.
The 09 ring and the new one, it's half the size. It's like literally like that.
I had the replica. I don't know if you guys
It's I had mine on yesterday. All right, coming back.
just tell the ogre to stop leaving his ring in the bathroom.
Say that again.
Tell the ogre to stop leaving his ring in the bathroom.
That is good.
Jeez. Final second. Sunday morning. One hit wonder. I could definitely see Jansen sitting in his apartment drinking beers and singing this song like he does with Goo Goo Dolls and Iris.
This is what he did in Vegas.
Right by the pool.
Yeah, right by the Oh, I think he's been sitting in the bath. Is that what you said? Maybe.
Let me scratch this beer a minute. Especially if Johnny's had some Taco Bell. We've done shows
Well, they
like
have
that.
been there for a quick time.
All right, final segment brought to you by the Ludlam Hotel in Seattle City. Yes, it's the old La Costa, the fully renovated Ludlam Hotel at 4000 Landis Avenue in Seattle City. Make sure you guys get down there. Yes, Labor Day weekend is next week, but they are open year-round, and all guests enjoy free Wi-Fi, one free parking spot per room, complimentary beach tax for all registered adults. Walking distance to everything. Check them out. LudlamHotel.com. That's Ludlam, Ludlam Hotel.com. Call them at 609-263-7829. That's 609-263-7829. For all your reservation, dining, or entertainment questions, Ludlam Hotel, the new oasis in Seattle City. Murph, the rest of your top 5 one-hit wonders.
One-hit wonders, and you put the caveat for folks that are joining us that it didn't have to be music. You think of one-hit wonders, you think songs, right? You think bands that have one big hit, and obviously there's hundreds of those, but you expanded it, which I thought was cool. So almost any walk of life. So yeah, I have 5. I already gave you the Eye of the Tiger, Survivor, mega hit for 50 years. And still going strong. We didn't really do much after that. All right, so that's my first one. Let me give you one from the world of sports. And this, I don't know if we're ruffling feathers or not, but the 1993 Phillies, as a collective group, they were a one-hit wonder.
Clark's going to give you a wedgie when you get over to the ballpark.
He might, if he can catch me. He's not very quick.
He keeps saying that he can reach Schwarber.
Oh, that's the element where it's the 3 of us, You can time that with the sundial.
Just don't pull an Endo Vitaldi and blow both of your hamstrings.
Oh, race for glory, for sure.
Can we do that for charity?
No, we cannot. You know what? Schwarber would win that race going away, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. 1993 Phillies. So, you think about how many guys on that team had career years to get them to the point, 92, not very good. They had added the guys in 93. In 94, was a strike year, so, but really,
it's the one time in that 83 to 2007 where they made a putt.
You hear that saying, catch lightning in a bottle. And they are the ultimate, we caught lightning in a bottle team, that 93 team. A bunch of Grizzle events, Harry's line,
these wonderful band of throwback players.
Yeah. And that's exactly what they were. So the 93 Phillies are on my list.
Okay.
As a one-hit wonder. I'll go back to the music. This is my least favorite on my list, but it's pretty amazing. You know that stupid song, Gangnam Style? Yeah. Right? Everybody knows that song, right? That dude. Okay, we got some Gangnam going.
He's made a ton of money.
He is worth, because of the one song, he is worth $60 million. That dude. And it wasn't even a song.
But at least it was a song and a dance.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's a song and a dance. I mean, at least it's a song and a dance. I mean, it's not the Cash Me Outside chick.
Okay.
Who did nothing.
I don't know what that is.
Cash Me Outside. How about that?
I don't know.
Yeah. But she was on like Maury or something.
To your point, it is a song and a dance. But because I was going to go with Take On Me from Aha. Because again, a mega hit, #1 video in the history of MTV, but that was it. But anyway, I didn't go with it. Okay, so that was Gangnam Style, $60 million. I went with him. For the world of movies, whatever happened to Cuba Gooding Jr.? He comes in, and I know he was in other movies.
He was in other movies,
but he won an Oscar in his first performance with Jericho Choir. And you thought, all right, here's this young, talented guy, and where'd he go? Was it his first?
Gladiator was his first performance.
Oh, Gladiator? Okay, all right.
So I think Radio, Which Dreams May Come.
So those in the hood. Again, an Oscar.
Chance's movie behind on this.
I think Cuba Gooding Jr. I expected him to be a megastar like Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan. And he wasn't.
I think you should have spent 6 to 7 minutes on your list instead of 4 to 5.
I'm getting his high MVD right now.
All right, give me your other one.
One hit wonder, buddy. One hit wonder. All right. Finally, in the world of sports, I think the number one. It's hard to argue that Buster Douglas wasn't. Literally a one-hit wonder, right? I mean, he beats Mike Tyson in a fight where he was, 100-1 underdog, holds the title, fights one more time as the heavyweight champ, and loses to Evander Holyfield, and never holds the title again. One-hit wonder in the world of sports. So I'm going with this. There you go. That's
So here's what we're looking at, because I don't think any of them were on what we have. All right, so Blinded by the Light by Manfred Mann, Nikki by Tony Basile, Brady Anderson of the Orioles.
I thought of him, but it was steroid-induced.
Yeah. Fastball, The Way, Toto, Africa, Semisonic Closing Time, and 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. So
They're all music.
Soft Cell, Tainted Love.
Yeah. I mean, they're all one-hit wonders. I don't like any of them.
I'm a big fan. I love the song Blinded by the Light. Like when I'm out, I listen to the oldie rock station. I'm on the patio. Yes, and I smoke a cigar. It's a great song.
All right, if I'm going with that list, which I guess I have to, I would
What
go
list are you going with?
Who Am I, which is much better.
I can't give you the tickets. You go to every game.
Yeah, no, okay. I'll stand out front and hands up. On that list, I'm going Africa.
Okay. All right. Slash. Give me the tiebreaker.
Henderson knows where I'm going. Africa, but Toto is not a one-hit wonder.
All right.
Right. Yeah, but that, yeah.
Rosanna,
So which one is it?
Africa.
All right. Cool. So Blinded by the Light, Man for Man.
Fair enough.
You would need 3 tickets, right? I gave you 4 last week.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. All right.
That is Keenan
Oh,
Barnes.
that was yours?
Keenan, congratulations. Yeah, Keenan Harmon's the one that won the tickets this week. All right, so we got to roll here. All right, so Murph, you get 2-1 last week.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
missing out on your underdog Mets.
I see how it is. We're going to roll because I'm.
No. It's okay. We got plenty of time to do what we need to do. All right. We're 26-28 in the season with 33.5 points. All right. I went 0-3 for the second consecutive week.
Wait, I'm sorry, my mic cut out.
0-3 for the second consecutive week. Struggling right now. 28-16 on the season with 35 points. I have 1.5 over you right now. So give me your first pick for the day.
All right, here we go. My favorite today, for no apparent reason other than it just seems like such a mismatch.
Seems to me.
Yeah.
We both said the same thing.
Houston Astros were only minus 170 over the Detroit Tigers. I have no good reason other than the Houston Astros are a hell of a lot better than the Detroit
And
Tigers.
Verlander's pitch.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Verlander's pitch for the Astros.
This is how I get
And the Astros need this game.
Okay, so I'm thinking the Astros over Detroit.
All right, I'm going to go with the Rangers. I'm sticking to the American League West. They're in Minnesota. Jordan Montgomery has pitched really well. He's one of them against Bailey over. They won yesterday. They're going to win the series in Minnesota. They're better than Minnesota. And they, again, just like the Astros, they have to win because the Mariners are red hot. Best team in baseball over the last month and it's insane what they've been doing. They're nuclear right now. Give me your underdog.
That's a pretty good. That's a gutsy pick.
Absolutely.
That's a gutsy pick. All right, underdog. I've got Milwaukee and San Diego playing today. Michael Watkins pitching for San Diego, and he's been good. He's been very good. He's 10-2. Yeah, but the Brewers are the underdog in this game, which I can't figure out. So I'm going Brewers over San Diego as my underdog.
All right, I'm going to go with the Nationals, who are another one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball since the All-Star break, to sweep the Marlins. The Marlins have been struggling. David Roberts has been struggling since he went down to South Beach. I'm taking the Nationals at plus 145. You're over on. I like the Marlins.
All right, over under for no reason other than I close my eyes and put my finger down. Dodgers and the Red Sox, 9.5 runs, which seems like a ton of runs. So I'm taking the over because I have no logic whatsoever.
I'm going over 8.5. Angels Mets. Canning with a 4.61 ERA against Peterson with 5.59 ERA. They stink. Both of them can kind of hit. So I'm going to go over 8.5 up at Citi Field. Can you believe it? baseball. Give me your first one.
All right, we're talking about Julio Rodriguez and what an amazing stretch of games he had over the last, he crossed into this week. How about this? He improved his batting average from 256 to 278 in that 6-game span. His on-base percentage from 319 to 336, slugging from 432 to 462, and his OPS went up almost 50 points, 781 to 798 in 6 games. That's amazing.
See, I'm going to go with the J-Rod show as well, but it's also going to add in the misery that is Yankees fans. Okay? So last week, Julio Rodriguez in a 4-game stretch had 17 hits, 5 runs, 25 total bases, 2 home runs. The New York Yankees in that same 4-game stretch, 17 hits, 4 runs, 25 total bases, 2 home runs.
All right, we're talking about how good the Braves are, especially in the first inning. This year, first inning, 124 runs. It's the most of any team in any inning, but it's happening in the first inning. We have 36 home runs in the first inning. 36 home runs and 177 hits. That's most of any team, and they scored 76 more runs in the first inning than any other team.
Cheating. I'm gonna pay some homage here to Bob Barker. Did you know that Babe Ruth hit 476 home runs after Bob Barker was born?
Well, I did know that. That's all Yeah, little Bob Barker.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Oh man, probably one of my favorite movie scenes ever. Him and Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so funny that there's a whole generation that will remember Bob Barker for Happy Gilmore when we all remember him obviously for the president, right? But all right, hey, look, 99 years, sign me up.
Almost made it to 100. December would have been 100. Yeah. Phillies trying to break out the Bruins today against the Cardinals here at home. Otani and the Angels come in for 3. Off day Thursday before they go back out on the road. Milwaukee next week. Big series in Milwaukee. Especially if you're looking at maybe the Reds or the Cubs make a run at that NL Central and the Brewers fall back. They're 1-2 against the Brewers. Big weekend next weekend going into that series.
One name we didn't mention today, Aaron Nola. He pitches today against his Cardinals team. I really am excited to watch Aaron Nola pitch.
He dominates the Cardinals just like Wheeler.
He does, and I really think I believe, and I'm an Aaron Nola guy, but so no, I am.
I know, we've been over it for years.
But I believe he's starting to ramp it up a little bit, starting to figure things out, and I think he's gonna have an outstanding game. That's my prediction.
What's your line? Give me a line.
So I think he goes 7 2/3. He allows 4 hits, 1 run. One is right.
I like it. All right, Murph. Appreciate you, brother. Another Sunday in the books.
We did it.
Sitting over here with Kyle Nonamaker and Johnny Clough back in studio on the board, and my beautiful nieces out here hanging out with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Chris Sacker, Green Legion Radio. Like a 3-1 pitch to Ryan Howard. We are out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same network, same bad channel. Yep. Thanks, John. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, Jinx.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Stop. Lars.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Get us some runs. You're going to the game?
Yeah, they invited me, but I got to go home.
I'd go home. All right.
Well, you can't come in for a couple minutes.
I wish. Rach has to take Jacob out back to school shopping. And I'm with Carson.
Almost time for school.
Back to school.
I manifested to go to some other